Yo, what's going on, guys? Havoc here, now I'm back. Welcome to Clash of Clans Mythbusters. Yeah, we're back at it again, testing your myths. Yes, this entire episode is from you guys. Whoa, been a while since I've been able to achieve that, but thanks for commenting. We got a lot of crazy stuff to test, so let's get to it.
Let's do this.
Myth. If you drop an ice block spell on a miner while he's underground, the miner will attack with the damage reduction of the spell. Myth confirmed. You know, it's myths like these that are the reason there aren't a lot of busted in each episode. I look at them and I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's never gonna work. And then it does. The miner just casually comes up from the ground and starts attacking while blocking 90% of the incoming damage. And then, when the spell wears off, he takes normal damage. I feel like I'm uncovering something that I shouldn't. I mean, it basically makes the miners invincible while still being able to attack, which goes against the core mechanics of the ice block spell. You know, that's half of what it does. It doesn't let the troops attack. Myth. Even if you 100% a base in the builder base, your troops can get affected by traps, like mines, while they're walking to the next stage. Myth busted. Like I always say, it's entirely possible that at one point someone experienced this as a bug, but during my testing, it never happened. I tried 3 different setups, each with traps in the troops' walking path, and not a single time did they ever get affected by them. The one setup with the guard post had the smallest time gap between the battle ending and troops walking over the trap, which should have set it off, but it didn't. I even tried air, but nothing. Myth. If you switch clans from a higher level troop capacity to a lower one in the clan capital, you overflow the capacity of your army and you cannot attack with them. Myth confirmed. This was way too specific. I thought it would be busted, but no. I joined a clan with a lower level clan capital which has less troop capacity, and the attack button was grayed out. At first it was telling me that it was because I had a spell that the clan didn't, so I switched it out thinking it would work, but no. It finally told me that I just had too much troops. Literally suffering from success. It's pretty interesting. I would have never considered how the game handles this sort of dilemma, but now we know, I guess. Myth. If you clone an Electro Titan, Apprentice Warden, or any troop with a passive ability, when the clone wears off, its passive ability will still remain, preventing the battle from ending. Myth. I honestly don't even remember why I called it myth.
What do we call this one? Myth busted? Myth.
Anyway, this has been a bug for a while. The cloned Electro Titan's aura sticks around and continues to deal damage. Which is crazy, by the way. It shouldn't be doing that. Even if it isn't dealing damage though, it will prevent the battle from ending. It will just go the entire battle's length. This can actually come in handy in some instances, destroying buildings long after troops have died. But other times, it feels like cheating. They should definitely fix that. However, this isn't exactly how it works for all troops with passive abilities, which is why I'd say myth. The Apprentice aura does stick around, but doesn't prevent a battle from ending. This is just a bug with the Electro Titan. Myth. You can still see the light effect from the anvil that used to be there when the builder upgraded heroes. Myth confirmed. It's the pot full of lava, not the anvil, but I'll let it slide because it turns out that they just reused the old upgrade animation and added some walking to it. You can even see the smoke behind him because it used to be that when he swung his hammer before, the smoke from the fire was always behind him. So that's why that smoke appears to follow him as he moves around and hits, and every time he turns around a different way, they just mirrored it. It's kind of weird, but it makes perfect sense when you know what it used to be from. It's also very obvious from Bob, as the fire is also there. This took me way too long to uncover, but it turns out this is because when Bob would upgrade a hero, the fire behind him never went out. It was always lit compared to the regular builders where it would smoke. That's why today, Bob has fire following him. I'm not really sure why they did it this way. I mean, I'm not a developer or anything, but maybe the game's ancient spaghetti code has something to do with it. Myth. If a builder is repairing a damaged building during an attack and then the town hall takes damage, it will prioritize the town hall first. Myth busted. It does not switch to the town hall. This is because builders will repair the same building until its HP is completely restored, or if said building is destroyed or made inaccessible due to a spell. Builders will basically stick to whatever they're doing until their HUD is destroyed, and it doesn't matter if the town hall is getting obliterated or not, it won't switch. However, there is one instance where the builder will prioritize something, its own HUD. If the HUD is damaged and you force retarget the builder with a lightning spell, it will prioritize the HUD. It will just walk over there. Forget this building, my house is getting destroyed. However, in the case that I just interpreted this one wrong and he meant builders will prioritize and not switch, that is also busted. As you can see in this clip, the builder just chooses whatever is closest to the HUD. There is no prioritization whatsoever. Myth. With the Ice Block spell, if you freeze a hero with a Phoenix right before it goes down, then use a Revive spell, it'll revive the hero and the Phoenix won't activate until after the hero goes down again. Myth confirmed. It can only go one of two ways. If you time it correctly before the egg hatches, or if the RC goes down under the Ice Block spell effects, you can basically force the game to use the Revive spell first, rather than the Phoenix. Why would you ever want to do that? I'm not really sure, but it's cool to know that you have the option. Technically. However, if the egg has already started to hatch even just a little bit, you cannot interrupt it. No matter what you do, it will continue the Phoenix revive after the spell wears off. Myth. Hitting a wall in range of an invisibility spell tower will cause the spell to activate. Myth confirmed. The invisibility spell on the spell tower has some odd mechanics, like the fact that it doesn't have a range. Think of it as having infinite range. A unit is considered in range if it damages a building within the area of effect for more than 1.2 seconds. Doesn't matter where they are. And apparently this includes walls. Even though they don't glow like the buildings do, the invisibility considers walls to be a building in its AoE as long as the unit is dealing damage long enough, which is why wall pickers don't set it off. They're only dealing damage for like a fraction of a second. Myth. If a witch that's inside a rage or haste spawns skeletons outside the spell's radius, the spawned skeletons will still get that spell's effects. Myth busted. Not gonna lie, I was fooled at first because it does appear that in some cases the skeletons are spawning outside the spell and still getting that boost. What are you talking about, Havoc? But if you look closely, their little spawn area is touching the spell, which means those are inside the spell. Don't just take my word for it. To prove this, I spent way too much time creating this setup here. I almost gave up, it was so frustrating, but I finally got it. If you look in these examples, skeletons that are clearly not within the spell's radius are spawned without any effects. So no, skeletons spawn outside of the spell radius do not benefit from the spell's effects. However, unless your spell is barely touching the witch, like in my example, it's hard to tell. It does look like it does, but it doesn't. Myth. If you open a siege machine before ending a battle and only about 2 or 3 troops come out, then you will only need to request those troops again, not the entire clan caster capacity. Myth confirmed. Or æEXTRA, I'm not really sure. Although this is true, it has nothing to do with siege machines. It's just how the clan castle troops in general work. If you have a clan castle with troops coming out of it and you end the attack, troops that didn't come out will stay inside. This should be obvious, right? But I'm not gonna lie, I forgot this was ever a thing because in 99.9% of my battles, the clan castle is empty completely. This is also kind of how it works when a clan castle is defending your base, though a bit more complicated, but whatever doesn't come out stays inside of it. Myth. If you travel to the clan capital but immediately open the clan war screen, you first go to the clan capital before being pulled out and into the clan war screen, which will still be playing the home village music. What? Myth confirmed. Alright, it took a lot more tries than I thought it would, especially for just tapping 2 buttons, but after trying forever, I got lucky and it worked. It's a pretty fun bug that you'll probably only do once for gits and shiggles. But yeah, that is it for this episode. That is everything I got around to trying. I want to thank you all for commenting on the last video. Honestly, it's you guys that are keeping this series alive. So if you have any more things you want me to try, definitely drop them down below. It doesn't matter if it's really silly. I tried anyway. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good me out. Peace.